Alright guys, now we're going to go over some Asshimar gameplay from the live stream. We're going to talk about its abilities, talk about how to play it properly, how positioning works, and talk about just comparing it really to other similar mobile suits like RX-78 and Pale Rider. So, starting right off, walking out of the spawn zone, get to the gameplay in 2 seconds, and here you have a useful ability, but something that you don't really want to be abusing, mainly because it'll abuse you. Asshimar has the ability to fly up very high in the sky with its transform. However, you don't want to use it too often as it makes you very vulnerable. However, what it allows you to do is scout the enemy. Walking out of spawn, getting a nice little fly up in the air lets you see where the enemy is, really see what they are. Obviously, they're going to come from the same spot. But let you see what they're playing, give some information to your teammates on what they are. You don't want to spend a lot of time up in the sky here. I mean, yeah, you put some damage in. Get a nice little napalm thrown in. If it's nice and early, that's okay. But you don't want to be spending too much time there because if the enemy has a GM sniper too, you're dead, potentially. Higher ranks, you'll just die immediately. As a side note, there's some really cool stuff you can do with any character that can fly, but landing on any of these buildings here will let you slide on them. You can stay there a lot of time with some things. You might know them if you played Overwatch from Doomfist rollouts. And Winston can use it pretty well, and other characters too. But Asshimar can also do it. Flight transformability is on a pretty low cooldown, but you have to be careful with it still. If you use it too frequently, you'll be caught out a lot of times without it, and that can lead to you just being dead. So you really want to be careful about using it when you don't need it. It's not going to be your main source of ability to travel with. It's better to use it as an escape ability and also to use it as something to access high grounds with. It does look like the Asshimar is staging for a side angle here. Taking this, let me see if I can get it in the shot. Taking this side angle here from the window is a very good place for Asshimar to be. It's very, very good because it lets you hold a high ground. So here we have a really poor usage of Asshimar's flight ability. You most definitely don't want to be using it to fly directly up into the air and pretending that you're Rafara, particularly in front of this many people. Like I said, if they had people who could really kill him, he would be suffering. The player would be suffering severely by doing this, particularly if they have a GM and sniper or something like that. You're going to be absolutely destroyed by doing something like that. It wastes a cooldown, makes you vulnerable, and it doesn't give you... There's not an advantage that you can't gain otherwise by playing up in the sky like that. This, though, is good usage of two abilities here. Just as important thing to know about Asshimar, Asshimar can use its primary fire while it's flying. So if you do need to fly or chase something down, you can do it that way. I believe it does exactly the same damage. It's very, very generally useful just as a little extra thing to have. And if enemies get caught in this area, this is a good option to use the Napalm grenade. Usually you want to be saving it for groups of enemies and for choke points. But in a situation like this, to secure an extra damage in a 1v1 when you can't shoot them normally, popping a Napalm grenade on them is a very solid choice. And as you can see in this, it allows the Asshimar player to win the fight. I like the gameplay here overall, though, because securing this high ground here would have been an excellent option going into this fight here. Unfortunately, the gameplay is really choppy just because of what they showed us from Asshimar. Asshimar does not absolutely want to be in a position like this. As you can see, he's obviously playing on the wrong side of the map. The objective is moved, so he needs to not even be here anymore. This is B. It is now at C. But it will suffer in general in any situation where it can have close range enemies run onto it. As happens with the Zexia and happens with the Gundam. This is an okay positioning. Asshimar is a mid to long range character, so you don't really ever want to play inside choke points. Or sorry, we don't ever want to play inside the objective. But considering that this is a map where they're playing Asshimar, it's okay to be in here as long as you're making sure you're on the high ground. The only pure advantage you're getting from this, the other thing you're getting beneficial from this really as an Asshimar versus just in general, versus the general advantages of having the ability to control the engagement, the ability to take less damage by using the high ground as cover, is the fact that this is a close choke point and is an excellent place for a Napalm grenade. You can use it to zone people by making them have to either walk into the fire and potentially die, or walk away from it and give up the point, or you can use it to throw it into chokes as people walk through it. However, you don't want to drop onto the ground. And against shielding enemies, it's a good time to throw Napalm Grenade. Napalm Grenade into the wall here will kill this RX-78. Or it's a GM, actually. No, it is an RX-78. I was right. Flying out of here after that happens is good. But again, like I said, even though he felt like he was rather safe doing this, obviously not. And gets put into a really dangerous situation. If you would like a full guide for Asshimar, then make sure to check out this video right here. It's much more complete than this short video. It talks about everything, has lots of gameplay to match it. So make sure to go check that out for a full knowledge of how to play Asshimar when the network test comes up. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I really, really appreciate all of you. Y'all are so cool. Later.